over 48 hours, these unique people have pushed themselves in new ways. It's been a game with many twists and turns, full of people who came to play. There was lying.
Completely lied to his face.
Did he get it wrong?
Yeah.
And suspicion.
I think it's a big lie.
I would almost guess she's lying.
Yeah, I think it's full of shit.
There were impressive come-from-behind victories. As well as some sabotage.
So I did forfeit the challenge. Oops.
I found this little round stone looking thing. I don't know whose fake idol this is, but I found it in our camp.
The whole medal is a community idol from the crew.
It was clear right away that people could be voted out for a variety of reasons, from being perceived as sneaky to indecisive or less involved with the group. A tribe swap exposed lies while creating new alliances. And time after time, people were voted out for being perceived as threats. All leading to the biggest tribal council of the season. An idol play and a flip that left everyone wondering what just happened. Out of this move, a secret alliance of 5 emerged and made a plan to vote out the remaining threats. The top dogs became underdogs, and the underdogs took control of the game. Now only 5 are left, each one with a solid case to win. Nick, he's been under the radar, which has allowed him to control pivotal votes.
I've been to the most councils, I've got the least votes. And I think I could out-talk some of these people.
Chris, to some he's come off as a villain, but has big plays on his resume.
I looked at every single person and I've had a hand in them going and they do not like me for it.
Everyone decimate the shit out of Chris. He's not getting my vote.
It's going to be a tough time. But I just got to go with the people that I think I have a better chance against.
Jake, his social game has allowed him to keep people's trust and constantly be seen as the swing vote.
Unlike my alliance, I have a connection and alliance with every single one of those people.
Emily, she successfully voted out the people who were targeting her and has survived despite receiving a lot of votes.
I could have gone home a lot of times, but my whole aim was to knock out the people who were voting me. I really think I've got a good shot at it because I'm not afraid to say I am the best.
Francie, who's been an underdog from the start, but has slowly gained power and built a case to win.
I've been playing on the bottom this whole time and everyone's been coming after me. It's been a crazy ride and I just want to be the winner.
3 will make it to the end, but only 1 will take home the title of sole survivor.
Last night I went to tribal council believing that it was Emily that was going to be voted out. Unfortunately that was a mistake on my behalf, and it's not to say I don't trust these other two. I think I definitely believe that Nick and Jake are the best two options for me going forward.
Yeah, we did it.
Final 5, we did it. I just need to get to that final 3, and I think I've got enough of a plan to really say why I did these moves and why I had to.
Pretty tired, got blisters on the back of my feet. I feel a little dehydrated, I'm hungry, and yet I couldn't be better. This has been fantastic. What a great experience. We've gotten to the final 5 that I wanted to get with, and my hit list has finally been completed with the vote out of Jason. That might seem like the end of the story, and in a way it is, but now it's time for part 2 and getting myself to the end.
So I made Final 5, which is super exciting, but Rancy betrayed us. He's gone. I was so shocked that he voted for Emily. I was just like, we were Final 5, why would you betray that for Jason? Like, no offense, Jason is lovely, he's cute, but Jason? Okay, so my plan of attack in the next tribal council is to get him out. Luckily, I have the idol, so no one can really vote me out, so I'm guaranteed top 4. But I'm going to look after my girl Emily and Nicholas. And Chris as well, if I can. Honestly, like the swap normally fucks over so many people, but I love how he just took advantage of it.
Swap was
it's perfect because we were all on we were sort of on the bottom of the ladder, sort of. You were still in sort of.
You guys didn't get a blanket.
But I did not trust. We could not trust Tyra enough in this game. Yeah, she was.
I think Tara was a good player, but she played too hard.
Yeah,
it's good to have both.
In my head, I don't think I had as good of a chance against Emily and Chris because they both played very, very loud sort of games. They both had a lot of votes. Chris played a great idle play, whereas Nick and Jake's game has not been quite as obvious, and it could come across to the jury as they've been carried along. And it could be seen that I've been carried along, I'm not sure, but I'm hoping that they've seen that I've played the game as hard as possible.
I do want to go to the end with Rancy. It's just a matter of who we're going to take.
So as I'm still in between Emily and Chris, I know who they're throwing out, which is likely going to be, at this stage, probably Nick. And I do not want to get rid of Nick at this stage because we've been bonded together throughout this whole game and we just get along, we love talking to each other, and I feel like that's my best chance of winning. We'll see as it goes. It could turn on me, I don't know, but I'm just making sure that I'm tight with either of them and I don't put 3 or 4 on me, so hopefully I know exactly where this vote is going.
Rancy, he surprised me getting an individual immunity. And he really shouldn't have made it this far, and I'm responsible, in my opinion, for bringing him this far, and I'm starting to regret that.
If I make it to the end game, I think I'm going to take Emily. It's a little bit of a risk because she has won 2 immunity items and 2 individual immunities and has constantly been up for the vote, but in every single time I've been the one to save her, so she is so indebted to me to the point where she has been my GOAT despite winning individual immunities. I think as well I might take Nick. I can't see him doing too well in the final tribal council jury speech, but that's still up in the air. Definitely not Rancy, he's got to go. He's playing really well. Good on him, because he was like a little bit down there. He's up here now, but I need to kick him back down there. And now.
I'm worried about Jake at the end, because he got in real close with the girls, and I don't want him to pull those votes.
I'd rather take on Emily and Rancy. I think I have a better chance against both of them, whereas Rancy sees it a little differently. He sees it as Emily has a stronger case due to some immunity wins. He wants to go with Nick. I don't see it that way. I think Nick has friends on the jury, such as Cal. He's been a quiet guy, but I think that if they're looking for people that have been friendly with them, Nick definitely ticks that box.
Actually, Emily, she's won multiple challenges. She's had so many votes thrown at her. She is a big threat too. I can see that also being an underdog story, being the last girl.
Definitely a bit of a challenge being the final girl, being a thread as well, it kind of puts you at a different angle to everybody else. Like the guys seem to bond really well together and you just feel a bit left out. But I really think that Jake is going through with me, and I think we can convince Nick to take me through as well.
I was standing in the group for like 2 or 3 hours. I'm like,
Yeah,
so scared.
I don't know what to expect from everyone else because everyone has said get to 5, free for all. I think if it is a physical challenge, it's great we just got rid of Jason. I feel like I'm the next highest in terms of physicality.
Come on in, guys. Alright, final 5. Betting all of you want this immunity pretty badly. Rancy, I'll take it back. Alright, immunity is back up for grabs. Guaranteed spot in the final 4. Alright, here's how it's going to work. You'll be competing in an obstacle course. First, you'll be going over the fences, 2 fences, and then you'll go over a balance beam, under a table, where you'll get to a number puzzle. First person to solve the puzzle wins immunity. With the number puzzle, you're looking to get each side adding up to 15. Alright, I'll give you a minute and then we'll get started. Spider's ready! Go!
Gotta get over that last one.
Yeah. Oh, this is embarrassing.
It's very wobbly. Nick off immediately. Rancy up immediately. They are getting nowhere.
Oh god. We can just get through this.
Out of this challenge. Nick is hustling right away.
That's too.
Moving pieces frantically. Rancy looks like he's given up. He's going again. And he slips. Emily thinks she has it. Emily wins immunity! Emily, come on up. Congrats. Nice. Safe from tribal this round. Everyone else, head back to camp. Remember, you cannot vote for Emily.
Back from that challenge has just been it's crazy to look back on that and just think of how I couldn't get over that balance beam. It was pretty embarrassing, to be honest. I was lucky my buddies Nick and Rancy were having as much trouble as I was, but you know, I got across in the end. Couldn't get the math done, but well done, Emily. I'm happy she won it. I want to go to the end with her, and a lot of people don't, so if she can keep winning, that's pretty good.
How about the balance beam?
Huh, me?
That was hard.
Oh no, I didn't get enough momentum. I was terrible. I couldn't even get up balance beam. I think it's just throwing. I'm only good at throwing. A little bit of running maybe sometimes, but next time I'm on Survivor, just needs to be throwing challenges because I can't do anything else. Go really quick, can you? Or did you go really slow?
I went slow at first and then picked up the pace once I got the hang of it.
If Emily didn't win today, I still wouldn't have voted for her, but if she does not win tomorrow, I'm sending her home. I've protected her time and time and time after again, but she's won 3 individual immunity challenges, and that's scary. She's outplayed me on that factor threefold, pretty much. You know, I've done well in challenges, but I haven't secured a win, and so I need to get her out to really secure a title sole survivor for myself. Which is upsetting because I like Emily. She's actually really, really nice, but no, I'm not saving her for the 4th time. Plain and simple.
The vote coming up, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I want to try to get Jake out, even though he's one of the greatest guys I've ever met. He's just, I just think he's too big of a threat.
Pardon me? Oh, I'll take it, Rancy.
I mean, I'm telling him that Nick's the vote. So I've got stories going everywhere, blood on my hands, he's turning blood into my elbows, and this is just getting harder and harder. But you know, you've got to do what you've got to do.
So you want to keep the 4 from our 5 and then keep the
Yeah.
Okay. Coming into the final tribal council, I don't believe Nick has done enough to earn the title of Sole Survivor, and I don't think he can really articulate why he deserves to win. I feel like Rancy can. I don't know what he's done.
Yeah.
The only thing I think he's got going for him is not really readable, whereas Rancy is being quite strategic. He has a mouth with multiple people.
Yeah.
Before he came over and said after Nick and myself and him, I was like, okay. And then he flipped on Emily. Didn't go too well, but he's also got an advantage. And he has quite a story arc with being from the bottom, really getting voted out first to make a chance for round 3.
Chris, Emily and me have a top 3 agreement, but I really don't think I want to go with Emily at this stage. It's also Nick and Jake, but they're very social, so I'm just not sure what exactly to do. Either could take me to the final 3, but it's tricky. It's very tricky. I still feel like I'm a potential vote off here. They could still see me as a threat. I'm potentially also the middle person, so this way I could decide who I'm going with. And I need to work that out pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's the worst vote.
Yeah, this one's the hardest. I like such a legendary.
The jury might not like that.
No,
They love it.
I know, but if he goes, he
I just learned that Rancy and Chris are targeting Jake. They think he's too much of a social butterfly. Emily said this is an easy vote, real easy, don't even have to talk, and it's going to be on Rancy. So I've got a choice to make. I can either go Jake or Rancy. Both have good potential to get any more jury votes, because I've worked with both of them.
I think I still trust Nick the most, but it's very difficult right now.
So either Nick or Rancy is going home tonight. Rancy wants Nick to go home because he thinks that he's got relationships with the jury, and Nick wants Rancy to go home because he's been a strategic powerhouse in the alliance per se.
If I vote Rancy out next, I will be the final green team member left. It'd be nice to have people from the other tribe there at final 3, so that I could get the ladder votes.
really struggling with this one. This sucks. Jake is awesome, and I'm probably about to vote him out. This is the hardest one because he's been nothing but awesome through the whole time. He's such a legend guy. But like I kept saying, what's the point in playing if you're not playing to win? And taking him to the end isn't playing to win.
I don't trust Chris. I don't trust Chris.
Chris.
But I know you went final 3 with him, and you're very close to him. So are you doing second there?
You to stay.
Yeah.
Chris, GC made a big move with the idol at the fire pit. He's promised top 3 to quite a few different people. I worked that out, so although I'm comfortable talking to him, I don't trust him.
Like, as he said, what have I done?
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. So would you be okay for Chris?
Yeah, as long as he doesn't have the idol. I don't think he does.
Okay. But, I mean, I'm good for Chris. But it's just that I know that you two were so close, so that's what's scaring me.
No, but he wants Emily. I don't want Emily. I don't want that final 3. I honestly don't.
So that just turned you off?
That's why I wanted to get rid of him last time. That's why I tried to get you guys to get rid of him last time. Okay. Because I don't want me and Chris.
Yep.
I want you, specifically, and potentially Jake. But definitely you.
Yep.
100%, because we've been through this the whole time.
So I'm planning on keeping Chris because he may have played an idol correctly, but I don't think he's built the social relationships that he needs to win the game. He's even got better people on the jury, so that's someone that I might want to take compared to Rancy.
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's the last one, you can use them.
Yeah, exactly.
You already got that. That's right. He's got a new family advantage, you found an idol, shit. That's okay. Final 5, last chance to find and play an idol. So people are pretty much openly looking for idols right now. No luck yet.
This is just a necklace that I just picked up, just from the thrift shop.
Final 3, baby. Yeah.
The vote-off seems like it could be either Chris, potentially me, or potentially it's 4 names. It's everyone that's not safe, pretty much. But I think it's anyone. It's honestly anyone.
He was just really strategic. I think he can actually really articulate why he deserves to win. I just want to try, especially after especially after I was like,
Oh, yeah.
we all said final 5. He doesn't want to move, get him out, and then you're just like, and I was like,
yeah.
You've got Emily, who's very physical and a great challenge beast. You've got Rancy, who's amazing at strategy, but I don't think they really encompass all the elements of outwit, outplay, outlast. But I feel like I kind of do. I know I'm pricing about it a little bit, but I feel like I should be a bit more on the hit list, like Tara was. You know, she covers them, all of them perfectly. And so I wanted her out. I feel like I would have been the next after that, but apparently not.
A lot of people that I look at on the jury, and they're all pissed at me when they knew I was going to vote them out.
I think
That made false promises to each and every one of them.
I think this was fun.
Yeah.
So I honestly believe that you have a fantastic story, and that if you're against Jake, I just still believe that you have a better story. You and I believe it isn't a match.
I'll build my biggest case, Sharon, is that when I don't know if I've said this to you, but I've said this to a lot of people, but remember when we went to that questions quiz and they asked who is the person that is least deserving to be in the game? Rancy was the answer, and a lot of the people that were in that game at the time are on the jury now.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think that he doesn't deserve to be in the game. That's a pretty big sort of statement. I've never felt as safe as I do now. I feel like I'm in people's plans, even though Emily just told me that she sees me as the person that will win the game if I get to the end. Which I'm not too worried by, because I believe Emily knows that I have her back. And I think she's basing her vote on who can get her to the end rather than who's going to play against her in the end. Yeah.
I feel like I'm the swing vote still. It's really, really good. You've got Jake and Emily, the close alliance. You've got Chris and Rancy. And then the whole game, I've just gone with whoever. I haven't really formed solid alliances this game. I've been a bit of a wanderer, which is cool. You don't see that too often.
As we're going to vote now, it looks like the sun's turned to rain, which is ominous for the final 5. I don't know if that means anything for me, whether the rain is signifying my end, but let's hope not. Let's hope the rain is a blessing and it's on my side. Let's go.
Grab a seat, you know the drill. You know it's authentic Survivor when it's raining and you're sitting out in it. Bring in the members of our jury. Kelvin, Ingrid, Liam, Tara, and Jason voted out at the last tribal council. Alright, final 5. Emily, how's it feel to have immunity?
It's fabulous.
Jake, coming so far from the start to here, how has the time felt like for you? Has it felt like a weekend?
No, it's felt very, very long. The nights have been quite, yes, but I've actually had a lot of fun. Like, the challenge has been amazing. The whole hysteria, I've loved it. So it's been somewhat quick but somewhat long as well. It's confusing.
How is this vote different from other votes in terms of who's here?
Well, this is the last time you can play an idol if you have one.
That's
so
true.
That makes idols a big thing this vote. So, it's going to be a big thing.
Chris, are you scared about idols?
No,
Do you know who has one?
not at all. I spent a long time looking for them. I played one, but I spent most of the day not bothered. People were looking, I don't know.
Rancy, at some point, do you wonder if anyone has an idol? Maybe no one does.
Honestly, after about 40 minutes of looking, I think yes, no one's got it.
I thought I'd just make a statement.
Hey, what's this all about?
So, this is just a little thing I picked up from Kmart. No, so this is the idol I found after Ingrid was eliminated because Chris played an idol successfully and was re-entered into the game. So I thought
I've got to find it, I've got to make this work, and I did, yeah. So I don't think I need it too much tonight, but I thought I'd make a statement because I have heard my name down.
Who else has said their name out here? Anyone a bit? Randy, Nick? Obviously not Emily. Chris, you seem more comfortable than
I haven't
you.
heard my name, but I wouldn't expect people to tell me at this stage if they were going to vote me out.
So Chris, are you worried about the alliances now that we're getting down to 5? Because for these people, for all of you who've made it this far, you've had to have these small core alliances.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be the hardest vote. I just look over at the jury and I look at the people I've had a hand in voting out. I've lied to every one of them. I can't say it was hard because, we're here to play. This is going to be hard. These are the guys that have stuck by me throughout the game. So we're getting down to it now. And, from now on, it's just going to be difficult to vote, but we're here to play.
This is going to make the game even harder. At the last tribal council, I found an idol on the table. And I think it's a bit of a Ghost Island twist. So I'm feeling pretty good, and these two are probably not feeling too well.
There you go. Rancy, does this change things for you?
I've still got a plan because I don't know if both are real. So, no. Look at this. Look at this. So,
you need a twist of fun.
There's a few options still for me. I'm not going to go down, just lying down. So, yeah.
Alright.
See how we go.
Well, does anyone have anything they'd like to say before we go off to vote?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
This is fake. That is so fake. I've seen that thing hanging around on the ground.
Yeah,
the feathers are like
but that's what Tara played.
What Tara had.
Ghost Island twist.
That's fake. He won't show me the parchment.
No one else want to say anything?
I'm still not sure if that's what I want to vote out, but it's fake.
Is it?
Yes.
Conversation starting again. I thought we were ready to vote. Everyone's talking. Meanwhile, I could call and say we're going to vote at any time. Alright, everyone good? Alright, we'll go vote. Emily, you're up.
Honestly, last minute decision, but I still do trust the other two the most. I'm hoping they do not vote for me because that would be stupid.
I'll go tally the votes. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Playing with myself.
This is a hidden immunity idol. All votes cast for Jake will not count.
I'm confident enough to take this home as a souvenir.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll read the vote. First vote. Chris. Next vote. Rancy. 1 vote Chris, 1 vote Rancy. Next vote. Rancy. 1 vote Chris, 2 votes Rancy. 3 votes left. Twelfth person voted out of Melbourne Survivor Warrandyte, and the 6th member of our jury. Grab your torch. Rancy, time is broken. In or out. Final 4, so close. Yet one of you will miss out on the opportunity to plead your case to the jury. Head on back to camp, await your next challenge. Next and final challenge.
So that's it. What a journey. Nearly first boot, and to get to final 5. I still wanted to win. I had confidence I could win. Thought I had a free this way, but I just got caught in the middle. I'm happy with my performance. Did all I could, and honestly, one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. I really wanted to challenge myself, and to get this far, yeah, it was crazy, crazy experience, and something I would definitely do again. It was, and I'd tell every single person that I know to do it.
That was a pretty intense council. A couple of idols played. A fake idol. It wasn't real, but I like Ghost Island.
I heard my name around, so I brought my hidden immunity idol. I don't think I really needed it, but it definitely shook both the remaining castaways and the jury. I'm happy I brought it out. It made a statement. You know, I'm not here to just pass by. You know, I've been making moves. I'm here to play, and I think the jury really responded well to that.
I was going into that, of course, wanting to vote Jake. He pulled out that idol, and I'm so glad that he did it earlier than when I'd already voted for him, because I was definitely going to vote for him, and that wouldn't have looked good. Now I can at least come back to camp and not so much try to mend broken fences, but continue on with wanting to go to the end with him, because I think I'd rather go with Jake now than Nick.
I'm not really gonna run around and scramble or anything. I feel pretty confident in my alliance. I think Chris is on the outs, especially after that last one.
I'm so glad that Rancy went out. I just feel like if he won the necklace in the next challenge, that he would have really tried to get me out. The others have all talked about me going through with them, so there's a lot of faith in that these guys are actually meaning it.
So my plan going forward before the final tribal council is to put the target on Chris, but then eventually vote out Emily. I feel like I can convince her. I've been having her back time and time after again. Every time she hasn't had a meeting, I've had her back, and she has not gone home because of me and what I've done for her. And so I feel like if I say I've got her back, she'll believe that, and I'm going to use that against her. It's going to be upsetting to see her go, but that's my plan going into the next tribal council.
A lot of glasses here. Last green tribe, last girl.
Yeah, right.
I think being the last member of Galata is really, really good for my game.
Last idol played.
Yeah.
This is the part of the show where I remember my game as it was, because with Rancy going, I'm a done man. Last man. Last person I'm not in their 20s.
Yeah.
I'm worried that the jury are going to hold grudges, because I never worked with Tara very well. And Calvin and Tara are like this. And I think they're my only greens, other than Rancy, on the jury. So I don't know where my votes are going to come from, and that's a problem. Hopefully I can talk well enough and convince some people to write my name down.
feel like often I wasn't the one initiating the big moves that were happening, Ingrid, Cal, and so forth. But I think I can claim a lot because I think some of the people that initiated those moves, I voted out. So I believe that there are some moves that we left unclaimed a little bit, and possibly people aren't so sure on where the actual start of it was.
I feel like my best chances were with Rancy and Emily, and half that's gone now.
Voting Chris off will be a big move for me. Getting through is a huge move for me. Like, I did not expect that. I thought I'd made myself too much of a threat. Winning this necklace so many times, it puts a big target on your back, but I believe that a big move for me is getting rid of everybody that was targeting me.
I did see Rancy as my number one ally, but now that he's gone, Emily is the person that is, you know, she's just stuck loyal with me throughout everything. You know, she's been just a great friend as well. Like, it's been great to get to know her. She's a lovely person, and you know, if I were to lose to her, you know, it would be an honour to sit next to her.
I'm really nervous for the final challenge. Obviously, it's going to be the biggest and most hard.
I want to win this challenge. I'm ready to go, even though I'm sore, but after that, it'll be a mad scramble. If I were to have my way now, it would be the original swap 3 from Durang over the Galata, and that's myself and Emily, and of course Jake.
For the next challenge, I think it's either I win it or I go home. So, you know, I think that statement with the hidden immunity idol really put a target on my back, and I understand why, but I feel like if I don't win, I'm gonna be in big trouble.
Come on in, guys. Final 4, almost there. Emily, I'll take back the necklace. Individual immunity is back up for grabs for the final time. It's your last challenge. Make it count. Alright, here's how it's going to work. You'll each be standing on a brick while holding a wooden plate, a wooden disc with blocks on it, arranged in a particular order. If you step off the brick, you're out. If a block falls off, you're out. And the last person left standing wins immunity. Guaranteed spot in the final 3, with a chance to plead their case to the jury of why they should win the title of Sole Survivor and the $100 prize that goes with it. Ready to get started? Yeah. Alright, step up onto your brick, and then I'll count you in. 3, 2, 1, hands off. This challenge is on. Everyone already looking nervous, already wobbling. The rain's coming down, that's going to make it harder. But if there's any immunity that you want to win, it's this one right now. Last chance. No one wants to have come this far just to get voted out for. Everyone looking steady. Nick wobbling a little.
You guys shaking yet?
Steady.
Huh? It's getting heavy, don't you reckon?
Nick trying to psych out. It's competition.
It's just a bit of wind.
This challenge will test how much you want to be in the final 3. Chris readjusting. Another thing that might get you with this challenge is boredom. We could be out here for a long time.
I wonder if we could play ninja while we do this.
That's very close enough. Not step up.
Anyone want to give their best ninja pose?
We've been at this for 5 minutes. We're about to change over hands. This will be a live transfer. If you drop it while transferring your hands, then you are out. I'll count you in. When you're ready, change over hands, and then I'll count you in. Switches out with a bang. 3, 2, 1. Jake hasn't changed fast enough. Jake is out.
Emily and I again.
Not again.
Nick versus Emily.
3 times. Have you worked in hospitality, Emily? No. Done any carrying plates?
Not really.
Nick's trying to deal with the boredom, talking to Emily. Doesn't seem to be psyching her out.
No, we're cool.
Yeah. Nick almost getting distracted. Getting played at his own game.
Yeah. I want to look over at yours and see how you're going.
I can look over at yours.
Can ya?
Yeah.
I think you're fooling me. Oh shit, okay.
Nick's wobbling a bit. He's been wobbling this whole challenge, but he's held it together.
Just like look at each
That's
other.
like my game.
Both hoping that the other will put them out of their misery. Both in some weird positions now. Starting to cramp up. Alright. Nick, come on up. First immunity win. Alright. Nick, saved from the last tribal council. Guaranteed spot in the final 3. Get a chance to plead your case to the jury. Why you think you should win the title of Sole Survivor. $100 prize. The rest of you, it's all up in the air. Head up to camp, decide who you're going to vote. Remember, you cannot vote for Nick.
Try.
I was out first, and then I had to watch on the sidelines as I watched the people that are going to decide my game for me. It's not a nice feeling, but it is what it is. I've got to make the most of it now.
During the challenge, I was feeling actually really good. I was holding the panels up with the cubes, and I wasn't really in a lot of pain, but that 1 second of not transferring my hand quick enough, I think is going to cost me my chances in the final tribal council. And I don't necessarily blame them, but it sucks to come all this way and become fourth. After, I feel like I've been quite instrumental in the jury and how it's been managed and how it's been placed, and to do all this work and then just to come up short is really bloody annoying. So I'm a little bit devastated, but I'm hoping that Emily and Nick will pull in for me.
This was the right time to win. I'm faced with such a challenge of who to take. It'd be pretty cool to have a all interstate team. You've got myself, Jake, and Chris, who are all from different states. Whereas Emily, she's from Melbourne, so she's going to maybe the hometown advantage. She's the only girl remaining. She has won 3 individual immunities. She is extremely likable, and she's had so many votes put against it, and to still be here, that's impressive.
So disappointed losing that last challenge. I really wanted it to really confirm it, but I really believe that Nick and Jake are telling me the truth, that they're going to vote. Chris, I need to trust it. There's not much I can do if they're lying to me, but I really believe that we wanted to go together. I hope that hasn't changed.
Chris is a great player, but I feel like he's been a little bit out of the loop socially. I don't think he really has those social connections with the jury members as I do, and so I'm hoping to bring him to the end, because when he's at the Final Tribal Council, he doesn't have that social element needed to win the game.
Level with you.
Yeah.
I'm voting Chris no matter what you do.
I literally had when I dropped it, I was like, you bitch. So I have a feeling he is on Chris, and I have a feeling he's going for me. But
that's what I think. So bad, you're not definitely.
Yeah, but he could go for you. Just because you have to have 3. Doesn't seem to work on it.
I don't know. I think you want to keep trust with me. Like, I don't know. Like, it's not one you really want to keep trust with.
Chris has pleaded with me that, we've had an alliance before, and, we worked together with Rancy, and that he doesn't have many moves to say to the jury. I think once everyone talks and gives their final speeches, that'll... Hopefully they haven't made their minds up yet, because I think I'm struggling with a few of them as well.
We'll see, eh? It'll be
pretty
good. I first spoke to Nick after he won the challenge, and he seemed like he wouldn't give me a straight answer. I think he's going to want me out.
So if there's a tie, there's another challenge between those people. Mm-hmm. It could be fun to let you battle it out.
Yeah.
I could make them go to a tie, but I don't want to do that for my game. It means I can't say I won the very last challenge. That gives the person who wins the challenge an extra thing on their resume.
Yeah.
So, I might not be for that. Just thinking out loud here.
Smart man.
I like Nick. Nick's great, but I think that not a lot of people have got to know Nick really well, and so I feel like there's not going to be any rapport, any social connectivity, and I feel like people are going to be quite defensive when he's talking about his time during the game. And I personally think he's not the best speaker, to be honest, and so having him there in the final 3 with me, I feel like I can articulate why I should win much, much better than him.
Usually when you're 4th in Unity, how amazing is that?
Yeah, like, I would have been over you just to be able to say I'll go. Then I would have felt selfish, really selfish and really sad for Nick, like, even though I'm not bringing him out, but
yeah,
he's lost 3 times, like, it would have been 3 times, but yeah.
That wouldn't go like that. I've had a large proportion of influence on who went home, with the exception of Cal. Everyone, I've had great social relationships, and I feel like going to the Final Tribal Council, I have probably the highest chance of winning. I know it sounds a little bit cocky, but I don't know, I feel like I do. I'm really excited about that. But I feel like my other contestants know that, and they might be gunning for me before the Final Tribal Council.
Jake's a fantastic guy, like one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He's just so easy to like, so easy to talk to. He was the person on the first night that made me feel the most comfortable. I'd love to keep in contact with him after the game, and if he were to win the game, he deserves it.
I'm thinking Emily. Just 3 minutes, she has a story, but I won't.
She only won 2, I think. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a 3rd at the last one.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but if a vote happens to go my way, I won't be offended. Totally, no worries about it. But I do think that you probably have a better chance with me in the Final Tribal Council compared to her, because I just feel like in terms of physicality, she's performed much better. We still have the same connections, but she's performed better physically. So I'm just kind of like,
exactly.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, let's go.
Jake came across then and spoke to both Nick and I and put Emily's name forward. I don't want to do that. I think my best move here is to get something going with Emily where we both vote Jake. So it'll be 2 votes on Jake. I've just talked to him. He seems like, I don't know, it seemed like bullshit. I think he's going to vote me. I think Jake's coming to me. And he's saying he wants to vote me. We can change this. They vote different ways. We can make sure they vote different ways. We vote Jake.
Yeah, I think so.
I need to make sure that Jake continues to want to vote Emily, and I need Emily to say that she's wanting to vote me. That way Nick will vote me. It'll be a 2-1-1 situation. So we'll avoid like some kind of challenge or something like that. Because it'll be 2-1-1.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know, if this is your first time winning an immunity, if you send her home and take me and him, you can say you're the only one who's actually won an immunity. Therefore, you know, your physical part of winning Survivor is obviously higher. You have that element straight away. I think the jury should be looking for a balance of outwit, outplay, outlast. You know, that's the motto of the season, is how it should be judged. You know, you've got some people in the remaining 4 who are really great at the physical aspect or the social aspect, but I feel like I represent a great balance of all 3 components. Instead of choosing both to send her home, she's going to get both to let her win.
Yeah, well, and where do you threaten me? Like, what have you done?
Well, I'm somewhat similar to her. I haven't got the votes, but I feel like I've never really had my name thrown out there. And like an idol, I guess. Chris is going to vote for me no matter what. Emily is going to vote for Chris. And so Nick can either vote for myself and I vote for Chris, forcing a tie, or he might vote for Emily and I vote for Chris, forcing a 2-1-1 with Chris getting 2, I getting 1, and Emily getting 1 as well. But I'm still up in the air. It all depends on Nick. He holds all the power. You know, I know that I'm considered definitely a threat. I don't take that personally. If you do vote against me, I won't take it personally. I just want you to do what's best for your game. Okay. I believe that the jury is the best jury that I could have to win, but if I'm not there, then it doesn't mean anything.
I feel like you are my biggest threat, so you are the most likely.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I respect the game. I respect good players.
Yeah, no, I'm the same.
Who are you thinking of voting?
I was voting for Chris.
Oh.
That's what I want to do, but I feel uncomfortable, I feel unsafe.
And it's going to suck for either one of us, you know, just to become all this way, all this jury management, all these alliances and lying and all that, just to be like...
I really hope the jury are looking for someone who was in control of their game. I really felt like I was in control of everything that I did in this game.
I don't feel like I did much, like, in the strategy stuff. Like, you guys pulled me through. Like, that they're going to see that.
I can think of some awesome arguments for you, but I don't want to tell you them in case I do decide you to come through. So those arguments I'm thinking about make me so worried, where I can't think as many arguments for Chris and Jake.
Yeah. No, I mean, Chris played an idol at the right time.
So obviously at the start I was on the outer, but I still have voted correctly at every tribal council. Alright.
Hey, the best person
Group huddle.
And no hard feelings.
Yes.
No hard feelings.
Been awesome, guys.
Come on.
Alright, come on in. Bringing in the members of our jury: Calvin, Ingrid, Liam, Tara, Jason, and Rancy voted out in the last tribal council. Alright. Jake, you're already expressing something here. What's going on?
I was actually feeling really confident in that challenge, but it was just 1 second too late, and that just cost me out. I'm feeling a little bit disappointed, but yeah, really got it.
Nick, on the contrary?
I was so happy when I won the challenge, like ecstatic. But now that I've got the necklace and I've had to hear everyone's stories as to why I should take them, it's just really upset me because I know I've got to get rid of one of these people who have played so hard, and everyone deserves to be in the final 3. But it's really rough.
Chris, what's your pitch for staying to the final 3?
Look at all these guys, 6 of them over here. I don't think any of them like me. If that's as good a reason as any, really. Like, I've tried to play a game as hard out as I can, and it hasn't won me any friends. So, and I haven't done the best at challenges, so it speaks for itself, really.
Emily, what about you?
Well, these guys have pulled me through. Like, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. I think that my case to the jury isn't that great. If I get taken through, it's because these guys chose to take me through.
Jake, how about you?
Well, I think that... Why are you laughing? I'm sorry, Emily. But I think that in terms of our play out last, I haven't performed as well as Emily. 3 challenge wins, I haven't won any. And I feel like, compared to my peers, I'm not the best one to I'm the best one to take, because there's other people who are better. Yeah.
I've got to decide whether or not I take people who I think played really well or people I think I could easily beat.
And meanwhile, you've got 3 people here sitting in front of the jury, basically saying why they're not going to win.
Yeah, makes me feel a bit easier with the final tribal, but I'm sure they're all playing it down, what they've done. I feel bad because Emily and I have had such a rivalry with our challenges. We've been the last 2 standing 3 times. So I told Emily she's probably my biggest competition here tonight, and she possibly could be sent home. So I'm not sure. I've got to work out what I want to do.
Emily, how does that feel?
It's the same as every tribal. I come in here, my name's Marco, and I'm sitting here feeling really glum and feeling like
But it's worked out so far. It's got you here. 1 more vote.
because of these guys.
Right, does anyone have anything else they'd like to say before we go up to vote? Any last pitch?
I've made multiple pictures. If he doesn't want it, then he doesn't want it.
Alright, Chris, you're up.
He's an awesome guy. If this doesn't come off and I go home, I'll probably be writing your name down again.
I'm voting for Chris, just because I'm hoping that Emily has my back. We can either go to a draw or you're sent home over me. Good luck.
I still am not 100% decided, but I just have to write a name.
I'll go tally the votes. Alright, I'll read the votes. First vote, Chris. Second vote, Chris. Third vote, Jake. Jake, you have a tie. 2 votes Chris, 2 votes Jake. Do a re-vote. Jake and Chris will not vote. Emily and Nick can only vote for Chris or Jake. Nick, you can take the end.
Jeez, I didn't expect that.
I'll read the votes. First vote, Chris. 13th person voted out of Melbourne Survivor, and the 7th and final member of our jury, Chris. That's George. Chris, I've spoken. Get on out. Alright, congrats. Final 3. You'll have some chance to chill back at camp and mull over what you're going to say to the people who you voted out in this game. You have to think about how to convince these people who you had a hand in voting out why you deserve their vote for the title of Sole Survivor and the $100 prize. Head off to camp. Enjoy.
It was a tough game. It was tough to go out right at the end, but it is what it is. They all made a good move in my opinion. A little shocked that Emily didn't stick with me, but I can understand that she didn't want the final person to be able to have another go at a challenge. I want to see strategy behind what they did. I want to see what moves they made. Bigger the better. I'm a big moves kind of guy. I like players like Tony Blackhurst and Russell Hance, so if you're playing like that, then you've got my vote.
Congratulations.
Oh my god.
Final 3.
I'm thrilled to have made it to final 3. It was the time that I was thinking I wasn't.
I so did not think I was making it so many times.
At Tribal, Nick and I voted for Chris, and Chris and Emily voted for myself. At the revote, Nick and Emily voted for Chris to go home.
I feel bad now that I know that you were telling the truth. I was just like going,
It's okay.
And
We've got the 3 that we wanted.
yes, this is the 3 we wanted.
Yeah.
Jake, when he was telling Nick why he thought he should go through, threw me under the bus, and it was just because he was so unprepared, but I became really scared because I thought he'd been lying to me. So I knew Chris wasn't lying to me, so I went and voted Jake.
I didn't mean to throw you under the bus and give you the impression that I was voting you, but I didn't know how to answer the question. I can't just not be like, oh, you shouldn't let me in the final 3. I was like, my biggest competition, let me throw you under the bus.
What you did was perfect. It was just I panicked.
I had all intentions of voting out Emily, but how the numbers were going, if I didn't vote for Chris, I would have been sent home, and I survived because I did that. I'm a little bit confused as to why Chris was sent home over Emily or myself, but that's Nick's decision, and I don't agree with that.
So we're going to need as much time as we can to prepare our speeches.
So if we want to just like
before we do
away
that, I, being Galata, I hate this thing. Can we push it over?
Oh my god,
It's been fantastic, this whole experience. I've been loving it. Survivor blood runs through my family, with one of my brothers taking the title in the last Melbourne Survivor game.
Oh, that's strong. That one's a strong one.
Watch out, it's going to clutch this one.
Tara did a good job on this.
I'm a little bit worried that the other two will be, I helped Emily through it. She survived on us. I had to throw a little bit of that to Nick to get him to not vote me out. So I feel like the jury might take that into consideration, that it wasn't just me being myself and being able to go through. It all depended on my alliances.
Get roasted. So having made the final three together, but I'm just petrified of it, to be honest. I'm just ready for those hard questions.
Yeah, like, the jury can take it however they want. It's not always, just because you see yourself as a sole survivor doesn't mean they see you as a sole survivor, but yeah, I'm hoping. I've got hopes.
The toughest people for me are going to be Cal. Yeah. I feel like he might be rooting for Nick. I think Ingrid, because she was very much feeding me all this information and I just took it and went against it with it.
I think that's what Survivor's about though.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I've got a lot of topics I'm going to bring up at Final Tribal Council, and I think it could win me the game. Hope so. You guys are happy you made it?
Yeah.
Thrilled.
I didn't expect that.
Absolutely thrilled.
I'm exhausted. Thrilled, but exhausted.
No, I'm now about to run on adrenaline and do my best. Like, I'm not going to quit until the final vote is cast.
Yeah. It's really interesting that we don't get to be a part of the jury as well. We've actually made it so far that we out.
I brought jury clothes for nothing.
Someone I'm excited to be on the jury. Like, obviously you want to win, but like, the jury is so fun. You can roast whoever you want to.
Yeah, we're going to get roasted.
Yeah. Going into the Final Tribal Council, I am planning to make a statement that to win the game, you need to outwit, outplay, outlast. And out of anyone here, I feel like I have the best reflection of that. I feel like I'm a perfect balance of all three. Whereas my competitors are solely maybe just outwit or solely just outplay. And I feel like that should give me the title of Sole Survivor.
I just can't believe this is real.
Yeah.
Take a seat on the bench for the last time. Bringing in the members of our jury. Calvin, Ingrid, Liam, Tara, Jason, Rancy, and Chris voted out at the last tribal council.
So, each of you will have the chance to plead your case in a summary of what you've done in the game, how you outwitted, outplayed, and outlasted the rest of these guys, and why you deserve the title of Sole Survivor and $100 prize. We'll give you a chance to give your opening statements, and then we'll pass on to the jury. So we'll call up them one at a time, and they'll each address you. And you'll have a chance to answer their questions and get them on your side. Alright. So we'll start with opening statements. Start on the left with Jake. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just want to start with saying that very, very thankful to be on Final Three with these guys. Amazing people, very, very lucky to have met them, and as well as you guys. I think you guys should vote for me because, unlike my peers, I feel like I was a bit more balanced and outwit, outplay, outlast. Physically, I may not have performed as well, but I feel like I was probably up there with a lot of the higher people. I wasn't worse, but I definitely wasn't mediocre. I feel like I was quite good. Not to boast or anything, but I think my biggest skill going into the game was my social skills. I built relationships with each and every one of you, with the exception of Cal. We all had alliances, like I had the pure alliance with Tara, and I felt like I utilized that to blindside you guys. I really do feel like, with the exception of Cal, I had not sole responsibility, but a large influence in who went home. And
I'm sorry for sending you guys home because I really do enjoy it. Every one of you, you're all lovely, but I'm happy with the jury that is here now. The jury management is perfect, and I feel like it couldn't be better for my game. A lot of my gameplay, I feel like I can't just put in an opening statement. So please ask me questions, hard or not, because I'm sure you guys have a few questions yourself.
Alright, Emily?
I think you guys can clearly see that I survived. You saw how many times that my name was put up there. I made it my whole goal to vote off those people that put my name up there from the beginning to the end. I've shown that I can win challenges by having the immunity necklace 3 times. I've shown that I can be strategic in working with certain people, making alliances, breaking alliances when they needed to be broken. And yeah, I feel like I was, even though there were times where I thought I might be going home, I never lost the plot.
Alright, Nick?
Hi, the gang. Colorado, Doreen. I feel like I've played very hard this game. I feel like I've been to the most tribal councils out of anybody here. I've also received the least votes out of everybody here. I've only had 1 vote against me while being in the most tribal councils, all bar 1, I believe. So, I'm very, very proud of that. Other accomplishments include convincing somebody to play their idol for me. I am the last remaining member of Galata, and I have been since Francie was voted out. I was also the last remaining member of Purple Team. The merge swap. Out of the team that was at the merge swap, I was the last remaining member after Liam was voted out, and that was a long haul as well. So I have really survived, and I've had to work my way to be here. I know I didn't really have really solid alliances with anyone except for Cal. Cal was a really, really big alliance for me. But it doesn't mean I didn't take a chance to get to know all of you. I really put the effort in. We've opened up, shared some really rough stories. I know at Galata we did do that. I went for a lone wolf style game where, I'm vote for people I like, friends. I didn't always go strategic, but when I needed to, I did. So I hope to hear a lot of your questions about my gameplay, and I look forward to answering them.
Pass on to the jury. Cal, you're up.
Okay, hi, final 3. Congratulations to you all. No hard feelings to the 2 of you that voted me out. Water under the bridge, it's fine. So I don't really have questions for Emily and Jake because I didn't really work with you. I guess I saw your gameplay basically from Tribal and whatever. Jake kind of answered a slight question I had, so that's all good. Mine's more to Nick. I've got 2 questions for you. First question, when you say you convinced someone to play their idol for you, did you genuinely believe that you were in trouble, or was that to flush an idol?
I genuinely thought I was in trouble.
Okay.
It wasn't to flush an idol, but it was a good result. It did get 2 idols out of the game. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And second question, where did you find the parchment and where did you find the string for your fake idol?
As in the clue, your clue?
My clue?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
As soon as I saw your clue, I knew I had to do something with that.
Yeah?
I had to make my game, make a big move for my game, and I said in plenty of confessionals how I was going to do it. And it kept changing, but I just thought, what a cool opportunity when I saw Tara's fake idol to say something about one of my very favourite seasons, Ghost Island. and I thought it might just have enough oomph to convince someone that it wasn't real idol. It wasn't, but I'm going to stick with you.
Okay, props to you for making that move. I'm solid with that. That's cool. Yeah, I think you got my vote, so it's all good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ingrid?
Hi guys, I have a couple questions. One I'll ask to all of you. Describe to me your biggest move in the game that you think is your biggest move.
I'm not just saying it just because you're asking, but I do generally believe that initiating the blindside of you was my biggest move. Because through you leaving, we were able to get rid of the Majority Alliance's head honcho because it seemed like you were calling all the shots and you were feeding me information after information after information. I felt bad, but I did use that against you to instill distrust amongst the Majority Alliance and ensure that my new Majority Alliance went forward into the game. And ultimately we did.
Voting you would have been one of them. Breaking that alliance was really hard, but it was one of the best moves that I did because I think I found it stronger the other groups that we'd made. Voting Liam off as well, and from then onwards, it was very much trying to make sure that people I was working with who got their names put out there didn't get the votes, and it kind of went from there where I knew who I wanted to get off, and it was convincing the rest of the team that was still there to vote him off.
Rancy was my biggest move. I built an alliance with him, the two Nicks, Nick and not Nick, from day one. I fought so hard to keep Rancy in this game. Tara had it out for him. Early on, she wanted him gone. Every tribal council, she would come up to me, follow me. It's got to be Rancy. It's got to be Rancy. But Rancy was loyal, a big fan of the game, and I just knew I had a number by keeping Rancy around. And I really like him, so that was cool. That was cool too. We had a player called Steph. She didn't know the game so well, and Tara and Cal wanted to take her to the end as a goat. So they wanted to get rid of Rancy for the second vote. I pushed that hard that I was able to get Rancy to stay. I think the game would have been a lot different without him.
I've been told that you were sort of the flipper on my vote out, so talk to me about your thoughts and decisions in the lead up to me being kicked out.
To be honest with you,
I didn't have much to do with your vote out. Your vote out, I was just voting with people who I liked, to be honest. And I didn't talk much to you this game, and I'm sorry for that. I know that you and Jake were so close. You already had these really big connections, and I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to connect. But I think it was out of you and you and Emily. I just talked to Emily for one of the first times, and I just felt like we really connected, and I thought I could use that to my advantage later in the game. So that's why I voted you out.
Yeah. And so you threw it at the end. What was your tightest alliance?
Emily?
Yeah, I think it was it would definitely have to be with Jake.
From the beginning, I definitely thought it could have been Natalie or you, but after the swap, it was definitely Emily. We just grew and we caught on like a house on fire, and I really, really enjoyed the company. But another thing as well was, Nick might have had Ramsey, but I had Emily, who was, no offense, but the perfect meat shield. The only time she wasn't immune, she received votes, and through that, my name was never really brought up, and I'm thankful for that. So I thought that if I didn't have her as my shield, I would have been on the jury. I would also like to add that after Cal was eliminated, I saw Nick as a free person. He was just voted out. His best ally was just voted from the Majority Alliance he was supposed to be a part of, which was our original tribe. And I used that to bring him along into the new tribe that I formed at the spot. And so him flipping, I think, was largely a lot of me calling you him. Just to steal that from you.
You've answered my questions. Alright, Liam.
Hey guys, just saying, love you all, so no hard feelings anywhere, really enjoyed your company. Jake, I know you're a big, bubbly and happy personality, but how much of that is for strategy and how much of that was actually genuine?
I actually think I'm quite bubbly, but at the first time, like the first night, there were some things that I didn't always find funny, but I would laugh along. It just shows that I'm interested, I'm engaging. And there were some people who, at the start of the game, were just like, and we found that they were slowly being put on the bottom, such as Jason Hat. And so I thought, no, be happy, be social, be bubbly, but a little bit extra if you need to. Just ensure that you have those friendships. People can see that you're engaging with them, not disinterested. And so, I am bubbly, but I was a little bit bubbly for you guys.
That's fair, I respect that.
Tara, come on up.
No, I mean, I don't have any brutal questions for any of you. I have the same question for all of you. So what I want to know about is the amount of control you had on most votes in general. Were there any times with certain votes where there was an outcome you wanted that you made sure it happened? And was there any votes where an outcome happened that you did not want to happen, but you still voted with the majority or whatever on that vote anyway?
I wasn't disappointed with any of the votes that happened. I'm not sure how many I pushed for. I started off going with what people wanted, but we got numbers down. And then it became pushing for people who were putting my name up and people who were trying to vote off people that I was working with. So I do believe that at least 3-4 of you were my decision to vote off, being Liam, you, Jason and Rancy, were ones that I was pushing to vote off because I saw you guys as threats to me.
So I'll probably say 2. An ideal situation that I didn't want to happen was when you guys gave me 3 votes. Ideally, I was hoping to get Ange out in a 5v1, but that didn't exactly happen. But another vote was Cal. I didn't exactly want him to go. He was a really, really big social meat shield, but I was weighing up, am I really losing anything with him being gone? He's not really a number for me anyway, but ideally I was going for Ingrid, but there was too much hysteria for me to take control and get the reins in. I will admit that's my fault. But one thing that these guys don't have is I have a perfect betting history. I made the social connections to make sure that I was in with everyone. I was talking to everyone. I was more so always somewhat the flip vote.
You asked how much power did you have in votes. Tara, you in particular, out of anyone, came up to me trying to get me to vote with you so many times. I remember after one tribal council, you confronted me and said, "Nick, was that you?" And I said, "Yes, yeah, it was."
Yeah.
And you said, "You are in such a good position, you are going to win this game."
I did, yeah.
So I think that I had so many people come to me to say, "Are you okay with this vote? Are you happy with this vote?" So I think I was a pivotal number in so many of these votes.
Awesome. That's all I wanted. Thank you.
Jason. Yep. Hey guys. Good job. You guys all deserve to be there. I suppose my question is, I knew from the start, I think I was the only one that voted for you, Nick, in the questionnaire of who do you think's a threat, and I thought, because you're quite often in the background, I thought you were a dark horse, no one ever brought up your name. And you as well, Jake, I thought you were quite a social person, really friendly with everyone. But I'm more so leaning towards Emily, just because I did not think she would get here at all. Especially, I tried to get her out so many times. So my question is, why should I vote for either of you two over Emily?
She voted for me because if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't be here. And I know it's a big bold statement to say, but there's been so many times where I could have got around and used Tara as my meat shield, but Emily was my number one. And there was times where I was like considering getting her out, but she was the perfect meat shield for me. And I feel like she didn't have a lot of control on whether or not she stayed. She didn't really have the social connections to ensure she was kept out of the vote. And I felt like it was through me socialising and making these connections with everyone that I was able to pull in a few extra numbers to keep her around.
You said you recognize me as the greatest threat in this game. So, the fact that I lasted longer than you is a great reason to give me your vote, because you did not make that clear to everybody else to get rid of me.
Alright, Rancy.
Alright. All three of you have come with some interesting comments, so sort of changed up my questions on the spot. So Jake, you were saying that I was potentially more of a threat, but me, you and Nick, most of our votes, we said we're all in this together, So when we were going to vote out Emily over Jason, what made you change your mind in that vote? And what made you distrust me or not want me to go in the final three with you on my vote out?
Why would I keep Jason over Emily? No offense, Jason. I love Jason, but at that time and that place, Emily was the perfect meat shield. You know, Jason hadn't won any challenges, Emily was, and I feel like through allowing you to kind of put yourself under the bus, you're an easy next vote because you were becoming a threat. You had this underdog narrative that you could drive at the final tribal council, and I felt like you were doing more than I perceived, than what I thought of. You know, you found an advantage. You were starting to initiate votes, putting people under the bus, and ensuring that you were in the majority. And then I was like, okay, shit, I need to get rid of this guy. He's going good. But then I replaced you with Nick because, no offense, I think you were doing more than Nick, without a doubt. And so that's why.
That's an interesting comment, because I'll go straight to Nick here. Okay, so what you said earlier about saving me has made me more bewildered by why you didn't keep me. Because potentially I'm a goat. Because you've just said, you've saved me, I've done nothing, you practically owed my game. That's just what I perceived from that comment before. So, like, was I a goat or was I a genuine threat?
You're a genuine friend and you weren't a goat.
Friend.
Alright.
And friend.
Salty. You were an early target for a lot of people. You would have not made it past the first two tribal.
So can I just... So, yeah, this is what leads me to why you didn't take me as a goat. Because if you're saying, I did more than this guy, I kept him in, why don't you just take me to the top three?
Because you won one individual immunity challenge, but the throwing challenge, and then you also played an advantage, and you played it, I think you played it correctly, right? So they're two moves that you have done, which you won an individual immunity before I did. I recognized you as a threat. I only won the last one. And because you were changing things up, you said it was going to be me, you, and Chris at the end. But you wanted to bring in Jason. So that scared me. I was like, why are we changing things up? We had it so good. Alright, maybe I made a mistake in keeping him around this long.
Yeah. Alright, okay. Let's finish up with Emily. So, why did you vote for Chris in the tiebreaker originally? And why did you change your mind if that was your original... If this was your original three, why did you vote for Chris first?
So, this was my original three. Nick, when we went back and we were talking between Chris, Nick, me, Jake, and we were going around talking everywhere, I went and talked with Nick and was like, how serious are you for taking me through? and he said, look, you're probably one of my biggest threats. I'm not sure I'm going to. So that was my first one of, okay, maybe this 3 that I thought is not going to be the 3 that's going to go through. And I was talking with Jake. Jake and I were going, yeah, we're going to vote Chris. Not much else you can say when there's only one other person that you can talk about. We came back here and we were giving our reason why Nick should keep us here. And Jake chose to put me more in the spotlight by saying that Emily's a huge threat. She's won 3 individual immunities. And I went, okay, so he's not serious about taking me through. So I knew that Chris had told me the truth, that he was voting Jake. I didn't want to choose to vote Chris, like we'd first said, and find that these 2 voted me, because that would be an instant out for me. So I chose to vote along with Chris to vote Jake. So that way, if these 2 voted me, it was at least to a tie.
Alright, cool. Just want to say, no hard feelings at all. These are just questions. You're all still good friends of mine, so we'll have a drink after this, and yeah, good luck.
Alright, Chris. Last one.
Alright, final 3. 3 great people, 3 worthy people to win the game. Well done, guys. I like to see big moves. Unfortunately, that question's already been asked. So I want to hear about dirty moves that you made. I want to hear about moves that you've made that people will see as dirty, but you reveled in. Let's hear it.
In the memory challenge, I was the first person to start blocking people and keeping them back. I thought that was really cool. And then you even outdid me by pushing me in the back. So you made it some pretty good dirty moves too. The other one, which I did, was probably... I probably didn't need to because all 3 of us sucked on that balance beam challenge, but I did, when you were on it, kick it a little bit to try and get you to fall off.
Brilliant.
But yeah, we were all pretty bad at that. At least I made up for that by the final challenge, which I won, where I was also a balancing challenge. So yeah, they're my dirty moves.
Emily?
Probably when Vince and I were doing it, likewise when we were shoving each other around. I think that was Vincent initiated, but I was like, if you want to play like that, that's fine by me. Other than that, I didn't really try to. I didn't find it necessary to. I was happy with where I was sitting and stuff.
I think one naughty thing that I kind of did was, as Emily was looking for an idol in the camp, she was about halfway across from going to that stump with a hole in it that someone's already digged into. And as she was going, I was like, I'll go have a look at it. And she was probably like that far away from me, and I saw something. I was like, oh, I just grabbed it and ran. And then we're talking about hours later on, I didn't tell her about it. I felt really bad. She only just found out about the previous tribal, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I should have told her. I probably should have let you got it, but I'm like, I wanted it though. So I felt bad about that. But I think another dirty move that I did was lying to you guys. I know it sounds really cliche, but I was quite not proud, but I really found it. I was happy with how good I was doing it. I felt like I was lying to your face quite smoothly, as well as a lot of your faces smoothly. So I feel like the ability to lie to you guys' faces and still have you not have a clue was one thing that I kind of reveled in a little bit. So.
Do final statements, just quick, kind of 10 seconds, just one quick thing, sum up your game's last chance. Jake.
I may not have been the best physical player, but in terms of who's sitting here now, I was socially and strategically superior. I made sure that I had the social connections to make sure I was always a majority, and I voted every person I voted for, ended up going out.
Emily? I'm going to say that Jake wasn't altogether ruling me. I think there were a lot of options that I had earlier that I could have easily dumped him and gone with other people.
I chose to keep him on because I didn't think he had that really great a game. Okay. And yeah, so I used him to my advantage. Nick?
The biggest thing I did was Outlast. I lasted Galata. I'm the final member. I outlasted the tribe swap, and I'm here at the final 3. I outlasted everyone from my teams.
Now's the time. The power shifts to the jury. Give you guys a second to think about who you're going to vote, and they'll send you up one at a time. Remember, you're voting for someone to win.
My vote's for Nick. He played a great game, convinced me to play an idol for you. Yeah, I think you deserve it. Fake idol, just everything. Like, Galata, man. Good luck.
So, I guess my vote is based. It's a tough one, I'm telling you, it's really tough.
Nick and Emily, you played amazing. You were great friends throughout the game. But Jake earned my vote right at the end when he said he revelled in lying to people. That's what the game's about, in my opinion. You cheat to win. You did it well. Well done, mate.
You were right, Nick. I did recognise you as a threat, and I said so in the survey challenge, and I didn't do anything about it, and you got me out. So you deserve it.
That's it. That's it. I'll read the votes for the final 5, the time when you want to see your name written down. First vote. Nick. Next vote. Nick. Next vote. Jake. 2 votes Nick, 1 vote Jake. Jake. It's 2 votes Nick, 2 votes Jake. Nick. Jake. The winner of Melbourne Survivor.
Wow.
This is for you. Thank you.
My vote's for Nick. I think you played a great game, convinced me to play an idol for you. Yeah, I think you deserve it. The fake idol, just everything. Like, Galata, man. Good luck. This happened to me last time.
Okay, so I guess my vote is based. It's a tough one. I'm telling you, it's really tough because I can definitely see the strengths of between Jake and Nick. They both have very different strengths, and they both played to those strengths. But based on the way I like to see games played, my vote is going towards Nick. So. Yeah. Hope you win it, buddy.
Nick and Emily, you played amazing. You were great friends throughout the game. But Jake earned my vote right at the end when he said he revelled in lying to people. That's what the game's about, in my opinion. You cheat to win. You did it well. Well done, mate.
I'm salty that you voted me out, but I think you played a far more strategic game, and that's why I'm voting for you.
You were right, Nick. I did recognise you as a threat, and I said so in the survey challenge, and I didn't do anything about it, and you got me out. So you deserve it.
You guys played an amazing game, but I think it all comes down to how well you played throughout the entire game. Well, Nick, you definitely held on to control of everyone during the end game. I'm going to have to give my vote to Jake, as he held control of the entire game and held true to his strategy.
This is it. This is it.
So I've chosen Jake because he's played the best overall social game. He did blindside me, and he did blindside a lot of people, and he did it all with a smile. Nick would have had my vote, but he lost it after what he said about me, my game. With his explanation, he should have probably taken me as a goat. But no hard feelings to either of those two. Same with Emily, she just didn't have the game that was as good as Jake's overall. Really great moves, and I really respect his game.
He smelled something bad. Oh my word, yes.
Is it Nick?
Could be anyone.
I've got a fucking stitch. I need to stretch it out. It's so bad. Holy crap. I'm actually the worst stitch.
Move quickly because she's...
Yeah, quick time.
Weren't many votes to count.
Maybe someone just spelt a name so wrong. They're not sure if it's a tie or not.
One of these names are
Who's salty? Who's Sniffer?
Alright, I'll read the vote. We have a tie. 2 votes Chris, 2 votes Jake. Move into a tiebreaker. This is how it's going to work. We're going to wait here for a sec. While we get it ready. Alright,
yeah. It's a revote.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Happened in Australian Survivor 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be precise. I love it.
You know you're right. File 3, section
33rd minute.
Shut up. We have a tie. You guys, I need you to pretend like if you're. Oh, everything's actually nice. Alright. We have a tie. 2 votes Jake, 2 votes Chris. We'll do a re-vote. Jake and Chris will not vote. Emily and Nick, you can only vote for Chris or Jake.
That looks like a fucking vagina. I was wondering, I'm like, what are you doing?
It's been a while since I've seen one of them.
I really am still undecided. I just need to do what makes sense for my game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, so you're voting for Emily?
I said
He's undecided, but I think...
undecided, but I told Emily she's probably the most likely. But you said you've never seen Survivor before.
I've seen fan-based games, but I've never seen the real Survivor.
I'm trying to think whether you can use that to your advantage, saying that,
No.
hey, I've never seen it and I've made it this far.
Look, no, because you can pick stuff up from fan-based ones as well. Like, no, trust me, I will not use that.
You made it this far and beat these mega fans that have travelled interstate.
I don't even know if you guys are mega fans. Like, in all seriousness, I assume so, but I don't know so. Like, there was a mix at our tribe of those who knew or watched LAN or stuff like, or watched none.
But I've watched 15 or 16 seasons.
Okay. I mean, that's to your advantage as well.
Because we were at all 3 and we had an alliance from the very beginning. And the fact that I turned on Tara.
I know, but Tyra Banks, Tara turned on you. Not necessarily,
But she wanted to vote with me 8 times, and I went against her every time, but she just kept
I know, but that's not your fault. I think the one thing that I've learned watching Survivor is not everyone is willing to
Going back
move.
up?
And so just because you guys are
What do you think their perspectives are?
I'm just hoping that a lot of people will just ignore the fact that they've been voted out by a certain person and just go, that was a good hit. Like, that's what we're doing about.
We're on our way. I'll see you at. Sorry. Yep. See ya.
get
after.
voted out, yeah, you get rid of it. I just hope it's not.
You've been up.
Too late, mate.
Take a picture, send to Ingrid, saying it's New Zealand, never tried it before. Who hasn't tried aioli? With chips. Yes, we did. And then we decide to eat something nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to.
Yeah, really obviously I am. I love it.
I'm just excited to get into a shower.
Yeah, yeah.
Warm shower, wash my hair.
Yeah.
Oh, this is like kind of doing the job, but no, it's not.
Some clean socks would be nice. Mine stink.
Yeah.
Oh, bother.
Guys, can you see Keegan? He's signaling to you.